The argument about a month ago by a lot of people was this. The U.S. Olympic Federation, U.S. Women's Basketball, and NBC is crazy, absolutely nuts for not including Caitlin Clark in the Olympics. The argument then went on to say something like this. If for no other reason than for ratings, she's ratings gold. You remember that? A lot of people had that feeling. Made some sense. Seemed fairly logical, but guess what? NBC didn't need her. Not at all. Didn't need much at all. The viewership has been huge, and that number is only going to grow once the data of the last few days is factored in particular, the closing ceremonies. All that stuff is factored in. They're going to be huge numbers. It could not have gone any better for NBC Comcast, which is the proper term now. That's the parent company. It couldn't go any better. You couldn't script it out any better. They tried. They did a pretty good job of scripting it out. In the end, these are going to be NFL-like numbers, which tells you how big. If you want to have another interesting look at the Olympics and the numbers when they come in, appreciate how big the business of the NFL is. Live TV viewing is probably going to be in the 30 to 40 million range. That's NFL-like numbers, which is just unheard of anymore. The men's 100 meters, it turns out, did almost 9 million views. Streaming subscriptions. This is a huge part of, just to talk business for a second, this is a big part of them wanting to do this, is that it's a good way to sell your streaming services. Streaming subscriptions are up 77% already. So, was it Gen Z's? No, but Gen Z got their coverage. There were 4.5 billion video views of Olympic-related events. TikTok posts increased 2,000% since the Tokyo Games. So all this stuff, I'm getting to a bigger point here, but NBC spent almost about $8.8 billion to secure the rights for the Olympic Games through 2032. Now, again, appreciate the NFL. What a big business the NFL is. It makes me laugh when I think of all the people yelling and screaming a few years ago, that business is going to die. I'm not watching again. Okay, so the Olympics is secured through 2032, and that cost them just under $9 billion. The NFL media rights are 4 times that number. 4 times. And they could get 5 times. They could get 8 times that number if they wanted to go back. And that's for a fewer number of years. So why did it work so well? I mean, you can answer this. You can have opinions on this, but it's pretty simple, I think. Star power. Big events, right? I mean, they're at the right time and the right way with the right stars, the big events. U.S. success in big events. Good-looking athletes. It worked. Perfect, I would say this, perfect broadcast strategy across the board by NBC. And by doing this, human interest, right? Drama, storylines, human interest, throw in some sports, do more drama, human interest, a little bit more sports. I mean, it just worked. It was their strategy, and it worked really well. So NBC Comcast will, I think they also, and I think you saw this last night, they're going to benefit from, everyone's going to benefit from the almost obsessive effort of cross-promoting. I mean, it was almost to the point of being nauseating. They're cross-promoting their stars. So if you matter to NBC in any way, in any show, you have been given nonstop promotion. In other words, it goes back to, and this is an old media strategy, but you would acquire the rights not just to sell the advertising to make your money back, but you would acquire the rights to acquire an audience so you can give your other shows a chance. It's the cross-promotion. And they didn't miss a chance to cross-promote, obviously. I think Gen X and millennial women will drive these ratings, and they're going to be huge. I think Gen Z even tuned in, but not on TV, we suspect. So NBC hit a home run. They really did. And they hit a home run. If you want great ratings with women, they did it. And if you want great ratings with Gen X, they probably pulled that off too. It could not have been executed any better. I thought their play-by-play throughout for the events, the little sport that you got to see, I thought their play-by-play was great. They tried to go, seemed to me, you can disagree all you want, but they seemed to try to go to more upbeat. They had more female analysts. I don't think anything. Remember, all media is strategy. Everything is strategy. And I don't think that was accidental either. It was a perky broadcast throughout. And then I get to Mike Tirico. Mike Tirico, the host, is the Mr. Rogers of sports. I really do. I feel like he's going to come in the door in that sweater. He's the Mr. Rogers of sports. He keeps it calm. He keeps it moving along. And he never gets in the way. It's like he's going to tuck you into bed, and that's precisely what they wanted. They wanted it soft, they wanted it perky, and they did it nonstop. All the way, start to finish. It was bubblegum American broadcasting at its best, and it worked. And then the games are hijacked by Tom Cruise. Yeah. Ethan Hunt hijacked the Olympic Games. Ethan Hunt enters, I would say, stage left, but he entered from the roof. And it was pure American pop. That's why I say that these numbers, they're delayed because obviously you're gathering data. Then they don't have every single TV household or every television set or device measured. And so you're obviously projecting to the overall market. You have to get a sample size that projects to the whole market, that kind of stuff. So these numbers are going to be even bigger. The minute it started, the leaks were coming out that Ethan Hunt was going to come diving into the stadium for Tom Cruise to hijack the Olympics. It was flawless. The production was perfect, that I could tell. It was like one long Super Bowl halftime show executed perfectly. Did he steal the show? Did he? Yeah, he did, because that's what he does, and he's really good at it. So I'm watching last night, like a lot of people, having a glass of wine, fish tacos, and can we appreciate, this is all I could think about. Tom Cruise is standing on that roof, and this is all I can think about. Can we appreciate the star power of Tom Cruise? I'm not saying this is great art. I'm not saying last night was great art by any stretch. It was bubblegum pop. The whole thing was bubblegum pop. But that's what we like. That's what you wanted, and they gave it. But let's appreciate the star power of Tom Cruise. For most of us, right? For most of us, he's been a giant star almost our entire life. Think about that. The guy never fades. There's this whole concept of product life cycle. The product life cycle of Tom Cruise, the brand, is remarkable. It's not fading, it's getting stronger. He's never let up. He never seems to get bored or overworked, that's for sure. He never ends up in rehab, that we know of at least. He just keeps turning out hits. Not necessarily great art always, but they're hits. And if it's not a hit, you know what he does? He makes another one and another one and another one. And he just keeps churning out the hits. The guy knows how to be a star unlike anybody else, if you think about it, anybody else in your lifetime that can maintain it. And his ability to maintain it is ridiculous. So I did some reading. I'm bored there doing what I do. I can't watch anything very long, so I have to start reading. And so I thought, you know what? Man, I fully appreciated this guy's career is ridiculous. He's been a star my whole life. He never leaves. He's on the roof of the Olympics as Ethan Hunt hijacking the whole thing, and it's kind of cool. So he's the most successful star of our lives. I guess we can debate that. I don't think that it's up for debate. He's a 5'7" guy that grew up with an abusive father, and he went to 15 schools in 14 years growing up. All right, are you ready for the numbers? His films have grossed over $5 billion in North America and $12 billion worldwide, placing him the highest grossing actor of all time. Cruise holds the Guinness World Record for the most consecutive $100 million grossing movies, a feat that was achieved during the period of 2012 to 2018. Like I said, they're not always great art. All of this started with Risky Business. Now, if you don't like Risky Business, I can't help you at all. It's hilarious. Then Top Gun's in 86. What is Risky Business 83? Top Gun is 86. Like, this is your life. He does pop movies. He's done art house. He's done drama. He's done sci-fi. He's in his 60s. And now he's settled into action movies. And it always works. I mean, this is not even doing it justice. Let's see. Risky Business, Top Gun, The Color of Money, 86, Rain Man, 88, Born on the 4th of July, 89. He was nominated for Best Actor for Born on 4th of July, A Few Good Men, 92, The Firm, 93. Interview with the Vampire would be, 94? Jerry Maguire's 96. He won a Golden Globe for that. Got a nomination for Best Actor, I think, in Jerry Maguire. Magnolia's 99. It's a Golden Globe award for that. Best Supporting Actor nomination for that. Then, of course, he did what he did last night. He's Ethan Hunt again, and he started in 1996. It's 2024, and he's still Ethan Hunt, and it still works. It's ridiculous. If you think about your life with this guy as a star, right? I mean, he was Ethan Hunt in 1996. That's Mission Impossible. That's when it started. And he's still pulling it off. And we'll still watch Minority Report 2002, The Last Samurai 2003, Collateral 2004, War of the Worlds 2005, Night and Day 2010, Jack Reacher 2012, blah, blah, blah. Edge of Tomorrow. I'm skipping over Days of Thunder. I mean, he had some train wrecks in there. What is it? Back in the mid-'80s, he was All the Right Moves. But when it's bad, he'll quickly come back and give another hit and another hit and another hit. Just keep going. Then, of course, Top Gun Maverick in 2022. And all of this, I mentioned all of this. He hijacks the Olympics. He's Ethan Hunt again. And mentioned his career that's 83 to 2024 and still going. And I've not mentioned his greatest character of all time, his greatest acting job of all time, the one thing you wish he'd keep doing that he's probably not going to keep doing. I wanted that to be Les Grossman on top of that stadium last night. That's what I wanted. That dance is what we needed from Les Grossman with the chest hair. So it's, he stole the Olympics. In some way, he stole the Olympics in perfect Tom Cruise kind of way, and absolutely NBC is fine with it, and absolutely it's going to raise those numbers even more. So if you're like me and you're a sports fan, it wasn't for you. If you're like me and you got like weird art, it really wasn't that. It was bubblegum pop, start to finish, every aspect, every broadcast, and it was executed perfectly, and they hit a home run. At a time in the TV business when it seems impossible to hit a home run, unless you're the NFL, they hit a home run.
Come on, look at this. Only Tom Cruise. This is real. Yes. America, let's go.
Now, the only thing that was cool, it would have been nice had the whole thing ended there. Mike Tirico didn't need to do Let's Go. That did not feel like Mr. Rogers, because he's Mr. Rogers of sports broadcasting, and he does it masterfully. Where I probably, it's hard to argue with anything because you liked it. Moms liked it. This was the games of the Honda Odyssey. That's what this was, and it did it perfectly. But where it probably could have stopped is Ethan Hunt ends up on the Hollywood sign. It probably could have ended there. Instead, we had to move to that ultra cheesy beach concert scene. Oh, nobody remembers Up With People, but I felt like I was watching the Up With People beach scenes. We then segued to Snoop Dogg and some people with perfect teeth acting as if they're cheering on Venice Beach. I'm ripping it. You loved it.